priceless. Roseanne just got revenge and issues massive message overnight to them all. Only hours after her show was cancelled, Roseanne Barr was tweeting. And although she told her 743,000 followers that she was going to bed, around what was 3:15 a.m. Pacific time, the 65-year-old comedian was back up tweeting only a short time later. Roseanne Barr lives in Hawaii, but it's unknown where she was when she was tweeting. Tuesday morning, the far-left propaganda machine ABC, which is owned by Disney, chose to quickly cancel her #1 top-rated show after Barr compared left-wing activist and former personal aide to President Barack Hussein Obama, Valerie Jarrett, to a character on Planet of the Apes. Almost immediately after the tweet, ABC Entertainment President Channing Dungey made the decision to pull the plug, calling the tweets abhorrent, repugnant and inconsistent with our values. Although left-wing social media keyboard commandos tried to twist her words by saying she blamed Ambien for her tweets, Barr would have none of it and spent a great deal of time defending herself and stating she did, in fact, take responsibility for what she posted. But what's perhaps the saddest part about all this is that Sarah Gilbert, who played her TV daughter Darlene Connor on both iterations of the series, denounced her actions. Something which Barr said she completely understood and forgives her for doing. Something tells me Roseanne might forgive her, but her fans will never. Let's be honest with ourselves here. What Roseanne tweeted was in bad taste, but how is it worse than what other celebrities have said about President Trump or politicians on the right? There is clearly a double standard here. ABC/Disney clearly has an agenda, and when Roseanne apologized, this should have been the end of it, since to date no one has ever apologized to President Trump, or us, his supporters, for all the nasty and evil things that have been said about him, and us. On a side note, notice how people are upset about the ape reference about Valerie Jarrett but not the ISIS reference. Interesting. Time to boycott all that is ABC and Disney. Who's with me? Here is more on the media double standard via Red State. Stephen Colbert is incredibly upset that Donald Trump would dare to insult Face the Nation host John Dickerson, and he unloaded on Trump with a violent, immature rant during his opening monologue Monday night. Colbert's entire shtick since Trump has gotten elected is to attack the president at every turn, which is about the only way to make his show work. It keeps the ratings high, but is entirely unsustainable in the long run. The week's opening monologue, however, was not the usual comedic musings of a late-night talk show host, but a rant with the most juvenile insults possible. And it ultimately led up to a gay slur, because that's okay if you're a leftist comedian, I guess. When you insult one member of the CBS family, you insult us all? Colbert began. Mr. President, I love your presidency. I call it disgrace the nation. You're not the POTUS, you're the GLOTUS. You're the glutton with the button. You're a regular George Washington. You're the preachy dunce, but you're turning into a real pricktator. Sir, you attract more skinheads than free Rogaine, the host continued. You have more people marching against you than CR. You talk like a sign language gorilla that got hit in the head. And then the kicker, in fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's cock holster. Colbert is the bright and shining example of what happens when you let Trump derangement hit dangerous levels. Remember when Alec Baldwin got suspended from MSNBC for a similar insult? The LGBT community got all over him for the slur, and Baldwin is currently not a member of MSNBC's all-star roster as a result. One does wonder if the target of Colbert's slur, Donald Trump, makes this insult okay in this circumstance. It is abundantly clear that we here at Red State are not fans of the president. Trump is not the man we wanted, and we intend to hold him to the fire as much as we did Barack Obama. No, more so, because he claims to represent the ideals we hold dear. What we don't do, however, is call him a cock holster for Vladimir Putin. We don't reduce ourselves to the most juvenile and tasteless insults possible just to score some traffic. That is what Colbert and his ilk do, and like I said, it's not a sustainable practice. Colbert is incredibly lucky that he picked up hosting duties of a late-night show with a majority liberal audience right before Trump became the president. The late-night comedians who have decided to make Trump 95% of their jokes are setting themselves up to be one-trick ponies who will be worthless to their networks when the Trump era is over.